The latest Springboks squad announcement has once again reminded the rugby world why South Africa remains one of the strongest teams in international rugby. Every squad selection brings excitement, debate, and plenty of discussion among supporters, but this latest group selected by Rassie Erasmus carries even greater significance. With massive test matches against the All Blacks and Argentina approaching, every decision has the potential to influence South Africa's chances of continuing their impressive form on the international stage. Rather than focusing only on the biggest names, this squad tells a much larger story. It reflects careful planning, long-term thinking, and the confidence the coaching staff has developed in building one of the deepest player pools in world rugby. Every position has competition, every training session becomes a battle, and every player knows that wearing the green and gold jersey must be earned through consistent performances. One of the biggest talking points surrounding this announcement is the return of several experienced stars. Injuries have tested the Springboks throughout recent months, forcing different combinations onto the field and giving emerging players valuable opportunities to prove themselves. Instead of weakening the team, those difficult moments may actually have strengthened South Africa's overall squad depth. The return of Siya Kolisi immediately captures attention. Few players influence a rugby team the way he does. Beyond his leadership qualities, Kolisi brings confidence, experience, and calmness to every contest. His presence alone lifts teammates and reminds opponents that they are facing one of the most respected captains in modern rugby. While recovering from injury has never been easy, his determination to return demonstrates exactly why he remains such an inspirational figure. Equally important is the availability of Eben Etzebeth. Throughout his career, he has established himself as one of rugby's elite locks, combining remarkable physicality with relentless work ethic. Whether carrying the ball into heavy traffic, dominating collisions, or disrupting opposition lineouts, Etzebeth consistently sets incredibly high standards. His experience becomes especially valuable when facing teams like New Zealand, whose forwards traditionally challenge every aspect of the game. Another fascinating storyline surrounds Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu. Despite his young age, he has already demonstrated the confidence and creativity needed at the highest level. Modern rugby increasingly demands fly halves capable of controlling territory, attacking space, and making quick tactical decisions under enormous pressure. Feinberg-Mngomezulu has repeatedly shown flashes of those qualities, making his return another encouraging development for South African rugby. Competition at fly half has become one of the healthiest situations within the Springboks environment. Handré Pollard remains one of the game's most dependable decision-makers. His composure under pressure, tactical kicking, and ability to manage difficult moments continue to make him an essential part of South Africa's plans. Instead of viewing the competition negatively, it creates an environment where every player pushes each other to improve. Depth has become one of the defining strengths of the Springboks. During previous seasons, injuries often forced coaches into difficult decisions. Today, South Africa enjoys the luxury of replacing world-class players with others capable of performing at an equally impressive level. That depth provides flexibility across long international campaigns where physical demands can quickly affect squad availability. The second row illustrates this perfectly. Alongside Etzebeth, experienced campaigners such as Lud de Jager and Franco Mostert bring leadership and countless test appearances. Their understanding of line-out systems, defensive organization, and forward play provides enormous stability. Younger locks benefit from training alongside these veterans, learning habits that cannot easily be taught through coaching sessions alone. Meanwhile, newer players continue proving they belong at international level. Cobus Wies has steadily earned praise through energetic performances and physical commitment. His willingness to embrace responsibility demonstrates the growing confidence among South Africa's next generation. Likewise, Ruan Nortje continues developing into an increasingly reliable option whenever opportunities arise. This combination of established stars and ambitious newcomers perfectly reflects Rassie Erasmus' long-term vision. Rather than relying solely on experienced veterans, he has consistently invested in building a broader squad capable of competing across multiple seasons. That strategy proved valuable during previous campaigns and appears even stronger heading toward another demanding international calendar. Outside the forwards, the backline also benefits from returning talent. Keenan Moody remains one of the most exciting young players in international rugby. Comfortable across multiple positions, he combines athleticism with intelligent decision-making, making him a valuable asset in modern attacking systems. His versatility offers coaches numerous tactical possibilities depending on the opponent. Ethan Hooker has also attracted growing attention. Young players entering the Springboks environment understand that earning selection requires patience, discipline, and consistently strong provincial performances. Every opportunity at test level represents another important step in their professional development, and Hooker's continued involvement reflects the coaching staff's confidence in his future. Similarly, Andre Esterhuizen offers unique physical presence in midfield. His combination of strength, defensive reliability, and ball-carrying ability creates momentum during difficult passages of play. Having experienced players available across several positions allows South Africa to adapt tactically throughout matches without sacrificing quality. Perhaps one of the most encouraging aspects of this squad announcement is the balance between immediate objectives and future planning. Winning remains the priority every time the Springboks take the field, but developing future internationals has clearly become part of the wider strategy. Successful rugby nations rarely rely on one generation alone. Instead, they create continuous pathways where emerging players learn from experienced leaders before eventually becoming senior figures themselves. That philosophy becomes especially important ahead of challenging encounters against the All Blacks. Few rivalries in world sport carry the history, intensity, and mutual respect shared by South Africa and New Zealand. Every meeting attracts global attention because supporters expect world-class rugby, tactical innovation, and fierce physical contests lasting the full 80 minutes. Facing the All Blacks always demands exceptional preparation. Small mistakes often determine outcomes, making squad depth even more valuable. Players returning from injury increase competition throughout training, ensuring everyone maintains the highest possible standards before selection decisions are finalized. The fixture against Argentina should not be underestimated either. Over recent years, Los Pumas have demonstrated tremendous growth, regularly challenging rugby's traditional powers with passionate, physical performances. Traveling to South America presents unique challenges, requiring mental resilience alongside technical excellence. Another player drawing significant discussion is Vusi Moyo. Making a positive first impression at international level is never easy, yet his early performances have generated optimism among supporters. Young players often face enormous expectations after successful debuts, but continued inclusion within the broader squad suggests that the coaching staff recognizes genuine long-term potential rather than simply rewarding one impressive appearance. Learning within this Springboks environment provides enormous benefits for younger internationals. Training daily alongside experienced leaders such as Siya Kolisi, Eben Etzebeth, Handré Pollard, and Franco Mostert accelerates development in ways that match experience alone cannot provide. Every session becomes an opportunity to absorb valuable knowledge regarding preparation, professionalism, communication, and decision-making. Of course, every squad announcement also produces disappointment. International rugby remains fiercely competitive, and talented players occasionally miss selection despite impressive provincial performances. Those difficult decisions reflect the extraordinary depth currently available rather than suggesting a lack of quality among those left out. One of the names attracting attention is Evan Roos. His omission has naturally sparked discussion because of his undeniable talent and previous contributions. Competition within South African rugby has reached remarkable levels, meaning selection often depends on tactical balance, current combinations, and the specific needs of upcoming opponents rather than individual ability alone. For players who narrowly miss out, the message remains clear. Strong performances at domestic level continue to matter. Injuries, changing tactics, and future opportunities ensure that the international picture can evolve quickly. Remaining prepared becomes just as important as earning the initial call-up. As preparations continue, optimism surrounding the Springboks remains justified. The combination of returning experience, emerging talent, healthy competition, and proven leadership creates an environment capable of challenging any opponent. Rather than relying solely on reputation, South Africa continues building a squad designed to sustain success over multiple seasons. By the time the team takes the field against the All Blacks, Supporters will expect not only physical dominance but also tactical intelligence, disciplined execution, and the resilience that has become synonymous with Springbok rugby. With experienced leaders back in contention and younger stars eager to seize their opportunities, the next chapter promises to be another fascinating test of South Africa's strength on the international stage. The excitement surrounding the Springboks does not come only from the names that have returned to full fitness. It also comes from the confidence that Rassie Erasmus and his coaching team now have in almost every position across the squad. Building depth has never been a short-term project. It has taken years of planning, careful player management, and a willingness to give opportunities to younger players even when experienced veterans were available. That investment now appears to be paying off at exactly the right moment as South Africa prepares for one of the toughest stretches of the international season. Looking across the current group, there is healthy competition from the front row all the way to the back three. Every player understands that a place in the matchday 23 is never guaranteed. That competitive environment creates higher standards during every training session because everyone knows that one outstanding week could earn selection, while one poor week could see another teammate move ahead. For international coaches, this kind of internal competition is one of the greatest advantages a team can possess. The upcoming series against the All Blacks will demand complete concentration from the opening whistle until the final moments. History has shown that these matches are rarely decided by one spectacular play. Instead, they are usually won through discipline, accuracy, patience, and the ability to capitalize on small opportunities. Rassie Erasmus understands that every tactical decision will matter, and having experienced players available gives him greater flexibility when selecting combinations for each challenge. One of the biggest advantages for South Africa is the balance between youth and experience. Veteran players bring composure during difficult moments, while younger players often inject energy, pace, and unpredictability. Finding the right balance between those qualities has been one of the defining characteristics of successful Springbok teams, and this latest squad appears to continue that philosophy. The return of leaders such as Siya Kolisi is about much more than simply adding another world-class player to the lineup. Leadership in Test rugby extends beyond match day. It influences preparation, communication, recovery, and the overall mindset within the squad. Younger players naturally benefit from observing how established internationals prepare themselves mentally and physically before major contests. Those lessons often become just as valuable as the minutes they eventually spend on the field. Similarly, Eben Etzebeth brings qualities that statistics alone cannot fully capture. His physical presence immediately changes the intensity of forward play, while his experience in high-pressure international matches helps stabilize the team during challenging periods. Opponents are always aware of where he is on the field because of his ability to influence breakdowns, lineouts, defensive organization, and ball carrying. Having a player of his caliber available significantly strengthens South Africa's options. The competition at fly half also presents an encouraging picture. Handré Pollard has repeatedly demonstrated his ability to manage big occasions with remarkable composure. His tactical understanding, goal-kicking accuracy, and calm decision-making remain among the strongest assets available to the Springboks. At the same time, the continued development of Sacha Feinberg-Mngomezulu offers exciting possibilities for the future. Different opponents require different tactical approaches, and having multiple high-quality playmakers allows the coaching staff to tailor their strategy without compromising quality. Depth at scrum half continues to improve as well. Quick decision-making around the breakdown, accurate passing, and intelligent game management are essential against elite opposition. Every fraction of a second matters when facing teams capable of turning turnovers into points. The coaching staff will undoubtedly value having multiple reliable options capable of controlling the tempo whenever called upon. Outside the halfbacks, versatility has become another defining strength of the current Springbok squad. Modern rugby increasingly rewards players who can perform comfortably in multiple positions. Whether dealing with injuries during matches or making tactical adjustments, versatile players provide valuable flexibility. Kanan Moody, Andre Esterhuizen, and Ethan Hooker each offer different skill sets that expand the team's tactical possibilities without disrupting overall balance. Perhaps one of the most encouraging developments is the confidence being shown in emerging players. International rugby can be intimidating, particularly when representing a nation with such rich traditions. However, the current Springboks environment appears designed to support younger players rather than overwhelm them. Experienced teammates provide guidance, while coaches focus on helping individuals perform confidently within clearly defined roles. That environment has undoubtedly benefited players such as Vusi Moyo, whose early international opportunities have generated considerable excitement. Every successful debut increases confidence, but maintaining that level becomes the greater challenge. Continued inclusion within the wider squad suggests that the coaching staff sees genuine long-term potential rather than simply rewarding one memorable performance. That trust can play a major role in accelerating a player's development. Of course, every selection meeting also creates disappointment for talented individuals hoping to earn or retain their place. One of the most widely discussed decisions involves Evan Roos. Missing out on a squad of this quality naturally attracts attention because his talent has never been in question. However, selection decisions at this level often depend on overall squad balance, tactical planning, and positional combinations rather than individual ability alone. Competition within South African rugby has reached extraordinary levels. Several players capable of starting for many international teams are competing for the same positions in the Springboks setup. While supporters naturally debate individual selections, such competition ultimately strengthens the national team because every player understands that consistent excellence is required throughout the season. For Evan Roos, the current situation should not necessarily be viewed as the end of his international opportunities. Rugby seasons are long, injuries occur, form changes, and tactical requirements evolve. Remaining focused on strong performances at provincial level will keep him firmly within the conversation for future selection. Many established Springboks have experienced setbacks before eventually becoming regular members of the national squad. Another positive aspect of the current Springboks environment is the willingness to rotate players responsibly. Managing workloads has become increasingly important in modern rugby due to the physical demands placed on elite athletes. By sharing opportunities across a broader group of players, the coaching staff can maintain freshness while also building valuable experience throughout the squad. That approach reduces over-reliance on any single individual and prepares more players for major tournaments. Preparation for the All Blacks will undoubtedly involve detailed tactical planning. New Zealand has traditionally combined speed, skill, and creativity with relentless intensity. Every turnover, line-out, scrum, and kicking exchange has the potential to influence momentum. South Africa's coaching staff will carefully analyze previous encounters while developing strategies designed to maximize their own strengths. Physicality will remain one of the defining features of this famous rivalry, but modern Test rugby requires far more than strength alone. Decision-making under pressure, defensive discipline, accurate kicking, and intelligent game management often prove equally important. The Springboks have demonstrated significant growth in these areas during recent seasons, making them one of the most complete teams in international rugby. The challenge presented by Argentina should also command full respect. Los Pumas have consistently demonstrated their ability to challenge the world's leading teams through aggressive defense, passionate commitment, and improving tactical execution. Playing away from home introduces additional variables, including travel, unfamiliar conditions, and passionate local support. South Africa will need complete concentration regardless of the opponent. Supporters can also take confidence from the culture that has developed within the Springboks camp. Successful teams rarely rely solely on talent. Instead, they establish environments built upon accountability, trust, communication, and shared purpose. Those qualities become especially valuable during difficult moments when matches remain finely balanced. Throughout Rassie Erasmus' tenure, the emphasis has remained on collective success rather than individual recognition. While star players naturally attract headlines, victories are usually achieved through contributions from the entire squad. Players entering from the bench are expected to maintain or even raise performance levels, reflecting the remarkable depth currently available. As anticipation continues to build, excitement among supporters is entirely understandable. The prospect of seeing experienced leaders return alongside ambitious younger players creates genuine optimism. Every squad announcement represents another chapter in the ongoing evolution of South African rugby, and this latest selection suggests that the foundation for future success remains exceptionally strong. Ultimately, the greatest winners from this announcement may not be limited to individual players. The Springboks themselves appear to have emerged in an excellent position. The return of experienced internationals, the continued development of emerging talent, healthy competition across multiple positions, and careful long-term planning all point toward a squad capable of competing with the very best teams in world rugby. Challenges undoubtedly lie ahead, particularly against opponents as formidable as the All Blacks and Argentina, but South Africa enters this period with confidence built on preparation rather than expectation alone. Every player selected has earned the opportunity to contribute, every returning star strengthens the overall group, and every training session brings the squad one step closer to another opportunity to represent their country on rugby's biggest stage. For supporters, the coming weeks promise compelling rugby filled with intensity, passion, and world-class competition. While debates over selections will always remain part of the sport, the ultimate focus now shifts from announcements to performances. Once the whistle blows, reputations alone will not determine the outcome. Execution, teamwork, resilience, and composure will decide who succeeds. If the current squad can combine its experienced leadership with the hunger of its emerging stars, the Springboks will approach the upcoming tests believing they have every opportunity to continue writing another successful chapter in one of rugby's proudest histories. With Rassie Erasmus guiding a squad rich in talent, experience, and determination, South African rugby once again finds itself well positioned for the challenges that await, knowing that every match against elite opposition provides another chance to demonstrate why the Springboks remain among the strongest and most respected teams in the international game.